Nights alive, ain't no sleeping. Tires spinning, dirt flies, hearts are racing. Southern pride, grit and sweat, keep on chasing. Track lights blur, dirt clouds, moons just a creeping. Rusting metal horsepower, pushing harder. Small town dreams, broke dreams don't falter. Oil and gas light the way, ain't no charter. Crowds holler wild, boys laps get shorter. Speed 'em up, steering tight. Beneath the stars, we own the night. Chasing glory, trophy lights. Adrenaline's gas, fuel to fight. Fuel to fight. Broken bones, mended hearts racing faster. Mud-soaked heroes dash through disaster. Songs of engines drown out the laughter. Dreams on wheels push past the pasture. Track and dust, life on edge, unafraid. Legends born from risks they made. Every turn, ever burn, fortune's late. South's heartbeat in a dirt track to play. Speed 'em up, loose steering tight. Beneath the stars, we own the night. Chasing glory, trophy lights. Adrenaline's gas, fuel to fight. Speeding the loose, steering tight. Beneath the stars, we own the night. Chasing glory, trophy lights. Adrenaline's gas, fuel the fight. Fuel the fight. Fuel the fight. Fuel the fight.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here this afternoon with the Bulletproof Mini Stock Association as these drivers are loaded into the sim, each and every single one of them looking for a win here this afternoon from the beautiful Kokomo Speedway. This is going to be another absolutely amazing show, another absolutely amazing night of racing action as Justin Young coming in, showing the love over there on YouTube with the LFG, the Let's Go, baby, let's go. Justin, Mr. Young coming in, showing the love over there on the YouTube broadcast. Is Johnny coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream. Mama Bear coming in with that heart reaction. Anthony Garth coming in with the like and the share as well. How are you, Anthony? How are you, Mama Bear? Miss Susie Dickinson showing the love. Dustin O'Neill coming in with the like as well. Tagging Jim O'Neill here in the comment section. Dustin coming in with that share as well. Johnny, how are you, brother? How you doing this evening? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Wednesday. It's hump day, ladies and gentlemen, one of our favorite days as we get a back-to-back afternoon of racing action, and it starts right here at Kokomo this week as the Bulletproof Mini Stock Association gets underway. These drivers getting ready to go to penalty, get ready to duke it out. Here in this one is Dylan Douglas. Dylan coming in with that like on the stream as well. I appreciate that. Dylan coming in, showing the big love here in this one as qualifying out on the racetrack. Drivers are done their warm-up session, their practice session coming to a close, so qualifying now underway. We see Keith Hackney out there on the racetrack. See Kyle Todd out there in the 62 ride. There's Carl Kilgore in the Majula Say Speed Shop Sweet Victory Apparel ride. He slides out there onto the racetrack. The 83 of Blake Murray making his appearance here on the series as well. We do see Cody Ernest in the TNT Racing, the Tommy Gun Customs ride. He jumps out there onto the racetrack as well as we get a lot of fast cats out here on the speedway. There's the M6 of Jamie Massey, one of our championship hopefuls here this afternoon, is right now Keith Hackney with the quick time here in qualifying. So Hackney with that fastest lap out on the racetrack. He is looking to try to start here at the front of the field, but can somebody jump up there and knock him off that top spot? Can someone take that pole pole position away from the 69 here this afternoon. As Hackney out in front as Joshua Neal. Mr. Neal coming in, showing the love. How are you, Josh? Josh coming in, showing the love with that like on the broadcast as well. What's good, brother? How are you? How you doing this evening? As Hackney still quickest out here on the racetrack. Jamie Massey jumps up into third. We'll see if he can get a little bit of extra speed here on another lap as Hackney back out there as well. He's looking for more speed out of that 69 ride. Carl Kilgore, he's out there. He's looking for a little something extra here out of his 6 ride here this afternoon as the 6 and the 6M both looking to try to find that extra little bit of speed, see if they can jump up and knock Keith Hackney out of the top spot here this afternoon. Massey will gain a little bit. He'll jump into position number 2, but not quite quick enough. Kilgore couldn't find what he was looking for. He'll have to settle in there to the 4th spot as Blake Murray back in position number 3 on the speedway as of right now. Douglas Stewart back there in 7th. James Fraser currently scored in the 8th position. We see Zach Clark out there in the 727 right now in 9th with Kyle Todd bringing up the rear of the field. So a lot of good quick lap times laying down out here on the speedway. We got about 6 drivers all inside the 13-second bracket. Everybody else is unfortunately in the 14-second area, but this is going to be some great racing, some good heads-up, back and forth battling out there on the speedway. And Kokomo, man, is one of those racetracks where you can really see these drivers put their skills on here for everybody. We're going to see a lot of slide jumps, a lot of crossovers, a lot of back and forth, a lot of great battling out there on the speedway, and it's going to be pretty wild out here on the racetrack, man. I think this is going to probably be one of our best races in these mini stocks. I feel like Kokomo is going to be a very, very interesting racetrack. The style, the setups, everything else, are kind of working all together here to not only give us a good heads-up competitive style of racing, but the different lanes that are out here on the racetrack is going to be absolutely amazing. We're probably going to see, a little bit of 3, 4, maybe even 5 wide out there at times. If drivers can find those lanes, if they can find the gear that they're looking for here, we could see some very, very close heads-up racing out here on the speedways. Qualifying is slowly but surely coming to a close here. I do believe we will see qualifying coming to an end in just a couple more moments, so we'll keep an eye on that and see when it does close out. We got about 10 more seconds. Is right now Hackney with the quick time here in qualifying. Jamie Massey, the 2nd fastest driver out there on the speedway, and then Blake Murray, Carl Kilgore, and Josh Peacock, our top 5. Josh Ely, Douglas Stewart, James Fraser, Zach Clark, and Kyle Todd, our top 10 here in the qualifying session, with Dustin O'Neill just on the outside looking in there in 11th. As we're going to get ready to rock and roll here with Heat Race number 1. Heat Race number 1 is about to get underway as these drivers get loaded into the sim. Each and every one of them are looking for the win here this afternoon. And starting on the pole in the House of Speed, number 69 ride is the Grip Hackney Live, the Tunnel Visions by Hackney. Number 69, that is Keith Hackney there in that pole position. To his outside, his teammate in the House of Speed, and LR number 83, that is Blake Murray, who will start in position number 2. Starting in the 3rd spot in the JP Designs the Bulletproof Motorsports ride, that is the P61 of Josh Peacock. Into his outside in the HNL number 3 ride, that is Douglas Stewart. Starting in position number 5 in the 727, that is the Race On ride. That is the beautiful IRP machine of Zach Clark, and Zachary Clark will start there in that 5th position. To his outside in position number 4, it's Dustin O'Neill. Starting in the final row here on the speedway in Heat Race number 1, the 66 of Charles Minders will start there in 7th, and to his outside in the 161, that is Tyler Carnegie. Carnegie will start here in position number 8, the tail of the field here, but it does look like the 727 rider Zach Clark gonna go back a lane to start this race, so he's gonna go to the rear of the field as we quickly see that green flag fly. Hackney out in front, looking to try to open up that race lead as Blake Murray jumps to the outside lane. Here comes Peacock down through the bottom here, looking to try to hug those inside tractor tires. Hackney will lead lap number 1 here in this one. Hackney out in front and already looking to try to open up a bit of a lead between himself here and his NLR teammate, as that's the 83 of Blake Murray right there in tow in position number 2. Douglas Stewart now going to work that inside lane. He's going to look to slide up and in front of Josh Peacock. Heavy contact there as Peacock gave him a shot right into the back bumper as the HNL number 3 machine trying to work himself into that 3rd spot on the speedway. Peacock isn't done yet. He's battling right here with that 3 machine, and don't look now at Zach Clark, who is supposed to start in the 5th position. Ended up starting back in the 7th spot here on the speedway. A little bit of a broken up start there for this race on Texas 727 ride, and unfortunately for Zach Clark, he is able to quickly rebound. He's able to kind of work his way back up from starting there at the rear of the field, but right now he's on the outside of a transfer spot looking in, as once again we take the top 3 to our A main feature event. Now I do think everybody here this afternoon will work their way into the show. Nobody's going to go home early. Everyone will get a chance here to race in our A main feature event, but it all depends on how Peacock has this set up and how this race is going to go. Maybe we do eliminate a couple drivers through our B main. It's going to come right down to the wire as the white flag has been displayed. So the white flag out here for Hackney. Hackney down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. He will pick up the win here in heat race number 1. Blake Murray right there behind him in that 2nd spot. Then we see Douglas Stewart in that 3rd and final transfer position, meaning that Peacock, Clark, O'Neill, Minders, and Carnegie will all go to our consolation race later here this afternoon. It's Jeremy Vaughn, Mr. Vaughn, coming in, showing the big love here in this one. How are you, brother? Jeremy coming in, showing the love, smashing that like on the stream, coming in with the comment as well, with the wave and the hearts. I appreciate you, brother. How are you? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Wednesday as we get ready to go back to battle. We get ready to go back to green flag racing as heat race number 2 about to get underway. Heat race number 2 getting loaded into the sim and looking to try to pick up the win. It is the number M6. That is the M6 machine, the HNLNLR. The bump of my promotions, JP Designs, a number M6 ride. That is Jamie Massey to his outside. In the other 6 ride here in the heat race, that is the Sweet Victory Apparel Company, the beautiful Majula Say Speed Shop ride of Carl Kilgore. Kilgore will start there in 2nd. Starting in position number 3 in the 09 ride, it's the 09 Laser Engraving KC Speedworks machine of Josh Ely. Then we see James Frazier, Kyle Todd, the 6th ride of Matthew Peacock, Cody Ernest, and the number 37 of Brandon Bolin. Unfortunately, not out there to start this heat race. Once again, top 3 will transfer through to our A main feature event as Mr. Zerk, Ron Zerk coming in, setting it off. Ron coming in with a big love here in this one, since looking forward to some great racing and another great broadcast. Ron Mother Fluffin Zerk coming in and setting it off here in this one with the 110-star dono, coming in with the big love here. I appreciate that, Ron. Ron coming in with the big D of the day here right out of the gate. Right out of the gate here, coming in with that big D energy here this afternoon, giving it the 110 stars. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are watching, make sure you guys, let's get some hashtags up in the chat right now. Let's get a hashtag Ron up in the chat for my boy Mr. Ron Sir, coming in, showing the big love here in this one. Let's get a hashtag Ron. Ladies and gentlemen, here in the chat right now. Is out in front, it's Jamie Massey. Massey leading the way here in this one, already opened up over a second lead between himself and James Frazier, as Frazier in the FMS 661 ride into position number 2. Josh Ely trying to hang on to that third spot as Carl Kilgore sliding a couple spots back now into position number 4 and looking for more. Cody Ernest back there behind him as the TNT Racing. Tommy Gun Customs, number 88, Ryan trying to work his way into that fight here for that 4th and 3rd spot on the Speedway. Peacock back there in 6th as we do see the white flag fly. So already this heat race coming to a quick close as the M6 of Massey down and out of corner number 4. We'll see that checkered flag fly here in heat race number 2. So Massey with the heat race win, Frazier there in 2nd, and Ely in that 3rd and final transfer spot, meaning that Kilgore, Ernest, Peacock, Todd, and Boland will all go to our consolation races here this afternoon. But I do believe we are going to be skipping the consi here this evening, so no consolation race. We're going to be going right in to our A main feature event here in just a few more moments. Drivers are going to jump out onto the racetrack here, a little bit of a warm-up session. They're going to really get some extra practice. They're going to be working on their cars. They're going to make sure that they got everything absolutely set up perfectly here for our A main feature event to see who can put themselves in to victory lane here this evening. As Jordan Mouney, hopefully I'm saying that right, probably getting it completely wrong. Mouney, might be getting that wrong, but Jordan coming in, smashing that follow button. Jordan, welcome to the Peacemaker family. Welcome to the Peacemaker crew here this afternoon, coming in, smashing that follow button here this evening over on the Facebook live stream. Once again, my boy Ron Zerk coming in with the 110-star dono and coming in with that like on the stream as well. I appreciate Mama Bear coming in with the hashtag Ron in the chat as well, coming in with the big love. My boy Justin Young over on YouTube as well, coming in with the hashtag Ron as well, showing the big love there to Mr. Ron Zerk, showing the love here this evening. We can show the love right back to him here as Lenore Seeley coming in as well. Lenore coming in, showing the love with that heart reaction. How are you, Lenore? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day as we'll get these drivers ready to play here in just a few more moments. Our A main feature event is about to get underway. These drivers are going to get ready to go to battle. They're going to get ready to duke it out, and I do believe, let me double check here, we got 50 laps of racing action. Now 50 laps may seem like a long time, may seem like a lot of laps, and it can be if we see, you know, an abundance of caution flags, but knowing the talent of these drivers, the skill level that's out there on the speedway, and yes, Josh, I got you right now, brother. I always forget that there's an invert here, okay? I always forget there's an invert. I'm just happy that you guys are in here to give me a to give me an idea here and remind me that we do the spin wheel. So give me a second here. We'll get this up and on there. I'm glad that you know, we can move quick here. So all right, so there is the spin wheel. We're gonna just keep it the same that it has been for Mr. Peacock. 4, 5, and 6 is the invert. Those are the only positions that can invert here in this one. So we're gonna spin it. We're gonna see what it is. See where these drivers will end up, see how things will change, and it's going big here. Top 6 is the invert, ladies and gentlemen. 6 is that invert. So a driver like Keith Hackney, who started in the pole position here this afternoon, won that first heat race, looks at a very, very fast car. He was bound to start in position number 1 here this evening, but now we'll start in the 6th position. Jamie Massey, who won heat race number 2 and was supposed to start in that 2nd spot on the racetrack, will now start in the 5th position as we will flip the top 6, and basically the driver that was supposed to start in 6th will now start in 1st. The driver that was supposed to start in 1st will now start in the 6th position. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. fun. That's going to be very, very interesting and fun to watch. These drivers have to try to duke it out in battle and see where they can line up and how they can work their way towards the front of the field and get through some of these other fast drivers there at the front of the pack. And if somebody can try to take advantage of it, see if they can find that gear and maybe have the invert go from that 5th position, have a little clean racetrack in front of them, and maybe run away with this one. It's going to be a ton of fun to watch these drivers, to watch these teams compete and battle and duke it out here this afternoon for our A main feature event that's about to get underway here in just a few more moments. A few more moments away, and we will get these drivers out here to play for what will be an absolutely amazing day of racing action. You take a look at these beautiful mini stocks out there on the racetrack as we ride on board here with the 6M ride. That is Jamie Massey that we're kind of rolling with right now around Kokomo Speedway, and this will give you a really good feel, a really good sense here as what this racetrack is doing and what this racetrack really looks like and how much time these drivers have to get around this speedway. This is a very, very small racetrack, so when you're seeing these drivers laying down lap times in the 14 to the 13 second bracket, it doesn't take long to click 50 laps off here as we do see that checker flag fly here in this warm-up session. So that means we are going to get ready to go to battle here with our A main feature event. Our A main is about to get underway. These drivers are going to get ready to go to battle as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go here this afternoon in what is going to be a very exhilarating race, a very intense battle here all around the racetrack, whether or not it's for 13th, for 7th, or for that top spot here on the racetrack. These drivers are going to be up on top of the wheel. They are going to be, they're going to have their elbows up. They're going to get ready to sling some dirt. They're going to get ready to have some fun here this afternoon. As with our invert, you take a look at this front row, that is Keith Hackney and Jamie Massey. So they will actually go from the front row all the way back to the 3rd row here this afternoon, meaning that Josh Ely will be our pole sitter. Douglas Stewart will start in 2nd, and then we'll see James Frazier going to start in 3rd. Blake Murray will start in position number 4. Jamie Massey will start in the 5th spot, and Keith Hackney will now start in position number 6. Josh Peacock, who was supposed to start in 7th, will stay, unfortunately, in 7th here. So unfortunately for Peacock, he still has to start back there outside the top 6, as only the top 6 were inverted here this afternoon. As Josh Peacock will have the 6th ride of Carl Kilgore there to his outside, and then we see Zachary Clark in the 727, the Race on Texas ride, the number 88 of Cody Ernest, Matthew Peacock, Dustin O'Neill, Charles Minders, Kyle Todd, Tyler Carnegie, and Brandon Bolin, unfortunately still not out here on the racetrack, but we do see Carl Kilgore is going to take an EOL to start this race, so Kilgore will actually start here at the back of the pack of this 15-car field. As we get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go here from Kokomo. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation. We are quickly Green Flag Racing here from Kokomo Speedway with the Bulletproof Mini Stock Association. As out in front, it's Josh Ely who leads the way. Ely out in front, but quickly Jamie Massey looking for position number 2 on the racetrack. Massey working down low, looking to slide in front of the HNL number 3 machine, and don't look now because here comes Hackney. Hackney right down the very bottom side, gonna pull up door to door with the M6 machine of Massey down the front straightaway. Door to door again at a corner number 2, but the caution flag will fly for the first time here this evening as it looks like Blake Murray in the 83 ride, who started up inside our top 6 here this afternoon. Looks like he's going to run into some issues It's up into the outside fence there just ever so slightly. Then looks like maybe some contact between him and that 661 rider, James Frazier. And unfortunately, just sends that 83 up the racetrack. And as he kind of gets stopped there on the speedway, that car basically gets nosed into the outside wall right there. Let's see if we can get another look at it and really get a perspective here as the contact between that 661. He seemed to get very loose there on corner exit. Obviously not expecting that 69 of... Oh, actually, I don't know, man. It's the angle that the 83 kind of came in here was definitely a weird one. He makes a little contact right here with the wall and sends it in. It's almost like he's just kind of cut down the racetrack as the 661 trying to wash up the racetrack and just kind of meet in the middle situation. Unfortunately, as we go back to green flag racing, we go right back to the caution flag. We saw that one live as Jamie Massey drives it head on into an infield tractor tire, and unfortunately for the M6 machine, they do not move here in iRacing. In real life racing, they move a little bit. They can still do a ton of damage, but here in iRacing, they don't move at all, and they still do a ton of damage. Oh, man, that's a big hit right there. Look at that car up off of all four wheels, airborne. Nowhere to go for Keith Hackney as he slides into that one. Matthew Peacock in there as well in his 6 machine. See Tyler Carnegie getting tied up in it. The 4 of Dustin O'Neill also right there in the thick of that one. As man, oh man, oh man, that has got to hurt here for Jamie Massey. Let's see if we can play this back and take another look at it as Massey drives it in there and just piles in to that infield tractor tire. Let's take a look here. At the restart, gets a great jump, trying to shoot down low, looking for something underneath that 09 right. Unfortunately, cuts it a little too sharp, and all of a sudden, bam, clips that tire, and that's all she wrote in a quick hurry for the M6 machine here this afternoon as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing. Out in front, it's Josh Ely who continues to lead the way. Nolan Tuttle, what's good, Nolan? Nolan coming in with the like on the broadcast as Johnny Riley says Jamie must have a relief driver in there. Ain't no way he's hitting a tire. Yeah, I don't know. He must have. He must have had to go pee or something, let his girlfriend drive. I don't know what might have happened, but nonetheless, we do go back to green flag racing, and out in front, it is that 09 ride of Josh Ely. Ely continues to lead the way here in this one. Ely out in front, trying to show these drivers how to get it done, as right there behind him is that 3 rider Douglas Stewart. James Frazier now in position number 3 with Kilgore back here in 4th. Kyle Todd having a great run here in the 62, finds himself now in the 5th position as here comes Josh Peacock trying to work the outside lane. Dustin O'Neill, Cody Ernest, Blake Murray, and the 727 rider Zachary Clark round out our top 10, but here comes Jamie Massey trying to work his way back up through the field. Massey now 82, into the 9th position here on the racetrack. So Massey already into position number 9 here, working his way back up towards the front of the field. A little bit of rubbing and scrubbing right there with the 88 of Cody Ernest. Contact down low though. Caution flag back out on the racetrack. Caution flag coming back out as it looked like Zachary Clark unfortunately going to get in here a little too deep. The race on number 727 ride. Just going to get in there and make a little contact here with the M6 ride of Jamie Massey. And as he does, Massey is going to go around the 727 ride, going to run into his own issues. There's the contact, unfortunately, right down through the slick stuff. Both drivers go for a quick little loop-de-loop. And unfortunately, the 161 ride, nowhere to go right there. Tyler Carnegie hard into the side of that 720 machine. Pretty good contact right there. Pretty heavy hit for Tyler Carnegie as he goes sliding into this one. Let's see if we can get a good look in from the driver's helmet cam here of that 161 ride. See Carnegie send it into the corner. Maybe that big piece of mud blocked his vision right there ever so slightly, but nonetheless, nowhere for him to go. Heavy contact, heavy damage as we'll get them all ready to go back to battle. as Michael Dickinson, Papa Mike coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream. How are you, Papa Mike? How you doing this evening as we get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here at the beautiful Kokomo Speedway. Kokomo here this afternoon for these amazing mini stock drivers. We'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in this one, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, down through corner 4. We will see that green flag fly here once again. A little bit of contact there down the front straightaway is that 661 ride getting a little loose off the bumper of Josh Peacock there on the racetrack, but we are going to quickly go back to the caution flag as Peacock going to go around and the yellow flag will be presented here once again. So watch the third car in the row on the inside lane. As sorry, chat, I'm not tired. I'm not trying to yawn, but once you do it once, you cannot stop. And if I do apologize if I'm making you yawn, as I do not want to yawn. We're not tired at all, and we're gonna watch these drivers beat and bang all night long, and this is something that we're going to see right there on the restart. Gets a great jump, unfortunately, all over the back bumper. He has to check up for that 161 ride. All of a sudden, it's a slew of drivers all around him. 3, 4 wide, 5 wide, and unfortunately, somebody gets in there a little too deep, makes that contact with that P61 machine, and around goes Josh Peacock. So a tough break right there for that P61 as he will now be back in the 15th position. He will get reloaded and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. And now once again, that's something that the 09 ride of Ely did not want to see, is that's going to bring all these drivers once again to his back bumper. He's going to have to try something different here on the next restart. As we do go back to Green Flag Racing, we are going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up, and I'm going to quickly crank into a little bit of Monster Energy drink here and make sure that we quit yawning here on the broadcasts. We are back to Green Flag Racing, and quickly it's Josh Ely out in front as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Yo, what's up, Saf? Mr. Castle coming in showing the love. Yo, mother fluffing Jason Fontaine, racing Jason coming in with the 50-star bomb. Huge shout out here during the Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up for Mr. Fontaine coming in with the 50-star dono and the heart reaction on the broadcast. How are you, Jason? Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a hashtag Jason in the chat right now. Hashtag Jason for Jason Fontaine coming in with the 50-star dono. caution flag on the racetrack. You just saw that 66 ride get turned around, and that will bring a close to our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up here in this one. Huge shout out again to my boy Racing Jason Fontaine coming in with a 50-star dono here in this one, setting it off here tonight as Hunter Blackwell says hashtag Massey, cheering on Massey out there on the racetrack, cheering on Mr. Jamie Massey, as huge shout out again to Ron Zirk and Jason Fontaine coming in, showing the big love here tonight with the star donations, and Colby Ely, Colby with the like on the stream, Thomas Reed coming in with that thumbs up here on the broadcast, as well as I do see Ron coming in with the hashtag Jason Mama Bear with the hashtag Jason as well, and Racing Jason with the hashtag 1J as we'll take a look back here and see what happens to the 66 ride as Charles Minders here in the 66 ride going to run into some issues. He's blinking a little bit out there on the racetrack now. He's working down low underneath Cody Ernest. See Ernest kind of getting into the outside fence. I don't think the 66 ride was expecting the 88 to check up. I think he was expecting the 88 to blow by him before he even got to the outside wall, and unfortunately they just kind of run out of room. They make some contact together, two different driving lines, and unfortunately the 66 ride going to go for a quick little loop-de-loop. He's going to back it right into the track entry there as we go back to green flag racing. Out in front, able to take that race lead away during our crank it up is the number 6 ride of Carl Kilgore, the Majula State Speed Shop. Sweet Victory Apparel number 6 machine now at the front of the field is Douglas Stewart there in second. Josh Ely in position number 3. Jamie Massey back here in that 4th spot, trying to work his way back inside the top 3 here on the speedway as we go quickly back to the caution flag. This time looks like Keith Hackney gonna run into some issues once again. 3, 4, almost 5 wide here on the racetrack, and unfortunately they just run out of room, a little bit of leaning on each other. Cody Ernest and that 69 ride. It looks like Kyle Todd on the outside groove gonna come down here just ever so slightly. Let's see if we can take another look at it. Looks like the 62 on the outside groove gonna come down the racetrack ever so slightly here. Little tail tag, and just unfortunately just kind of gets into that right rear of the 69 machine, spins him around, points him in the wrong direction, and that will put us under the caution flag here once again. We will get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. Carl Kilgore looking to try to put himself up and into victory lane as Kilgore out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done with only 20 more laps of racing action here this afternoon. Can Kilgore pick up the dub, or will somebody knock him out of this top spot? Will somebody jump up and take this win away from the KC Speedworks, Majula State Speed Shop, Sweet Victory Apparel number 6. It's down through corner number 4. He sees that green flag fly once again, and quickly that 09 of Ely will slide back in to position number 2 on the racetrack. So using that inside lane to his advantage, Ely able to try to hold on to that second spot as we do see the caution flag coming back out. So the caution flag going to come back out again here in this one. And it looks like maybe Charles Minders, maybe Jamie Massey running into some issues here as well. Let's take a look at Minders here, as I'm not sure if he was a part of this caution flag or if it was just a little bit prior to this yellow flag. Yeah, he's going to end up into an infield tractor tire right there. A tough break there for the 66. His problems get a little bit worse there as we'll take a look at the M6 of Mr. Massey. He was trying to work himself up into the 3rd spot, battling door to door with that 83 ride. Unfortunately, some contact right there is the 4 ride of Dustin O'Neill going to get into him right there in that left rear quarter panel, and unfortunately that's just going to take him around on the racetrack. Here you go, you get another look at it right here. Here's the 4 down low, the 6 trying to diamond the racetrack there, trying to get a big arc in there to hit that apex right in the middle of it and get a good drive off. And unfortunately a couple different racing lines, and Unfortunately, they kind of meet together, and around goes that number 6M. As we go back to Green Flag Racing, Kilgore out in front. Kilgore leads the way as Ely there in that second spot. Now going to slide back a couple positions, though, as he's on that outside lane. And unfortunately, quickly, the 83 of Blake Murray going to use that inside lane. And Murray is now looking for the race lead. Pulls up door to door. Had a great run there in 3 and 4 and looking for a better run down the back straightaway into that third spot on the speedway, looking for something underneath of Carl Kilgore as Kilgore continuing to hang on to that race lead. You can see all these multiple grooves that these drivers are running. You see one driver kind of in the middle of things, the 6th ride of Kilgore kind of rolling that middle outside groove, and then we have that 3 ride right down against those infield tractor tires. But now you do see the 83 kind of sliding back a little bit here. He's going to try to follow in line with the 3 ride, but you see that beautiful 09 ride of Josh Ely. Ely trying to work the outside lane right up against that outside fence there for multiple laps. Unfortunately, did not pay off for him as he will be stuck back in that 4th position as we do get a caution flag back out onto the racetrack. So it looks like Josh Peacock going to run into some issues. So Peacock here in that P61 down into corner number 2, and unfortunately the 62 to come out of nowhere and clobber not only him but that 6th ride of Jamie Massey. As Massey's looking to try to get around this, trying to avoid any contact here, and unfortunately he's going to find it out there on the racetrack, and unfortunately some pretty good contact there for him, and good contact for that P61 of Peacock as well. So let's take another look at this one, and just at the contact here, I feel like something may have happened here to that number. No, I'm drawing a blank here. I feel like there was something that happened here to the 62 ride of Kyle Todd. I do believe either he got some contact going into the corner or something here. I'm sure the 4 ride potentially could have been tied up in this one. Let's take a look here at Kyle Todd, and Blake Murray is right there. And Dustin O'Neill just kind of gets into the back end, gets him a little squirrely on the racetrack. Unfortunately, they all kind of get tied together. You'll see Minders go around, Tyler Carnegie also go around, so a bunch of drivers getting into that one. As we go back to Green Flag Racing, a pretty busted up restart. Unfortunately, again, the 62 of Kyle Todd getting shuffled deeper into the field. Now, so isn't Dustin O'Neill as he's kind of stuck in the middle here. He's going to get another shot down through 3 and 4 as the 661 rider Frazier trying to work his way around that 4 machine as well on the racetrack. As Carl Kilgore, though, going to continue to lead this race as Josh Ely there in 2nd. Now we see Jamie Massey and Hackney back into 3rd and 4th. Do they have enough time to work their way to the front of the field? Both drivers were supposed to start on the front row here for this main feature event. The invert took them from the front row all the way back to the 3rd row on the speedway. We were able to see them lead some laps early in this race, ran into some issues with an infield tractor tire, and unfortunately both rides went to the rear of the field, and now they're both trying to work their way back to the front of the pack. But I don't think Kilgore or Ely are going to want to give up a single inch out there on the speedway, but they are going to lose all of their advantage here as the caution flag going to come back out. Let's take a look back and see what happens as the 3 of Douglas Stewart going to run into some issues here. So Stewart down low. Ooh, I don't know what happened there. Just barely nudges a couple of those tires, but able to keep that car rolling. Then down through corner number 1 and 2, that car just loops around here. The car just goes completely around. I'm not sure if maybe it was just a tire wear issue here for the number 3 rider, if it was something mechanical that may have broke. Nonetheless, just something lets go, and he goes for a quick loop-de-loop. Able to keep it rolling, though, and staying out there on the racetrack as we get ready to go back to battle. The laps are quickly closing down here in this one. 10 more laps left here in this A main feature event. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, who do you think will put themselves into victory lane here this afternoon? Does Kilgore hang on to it? Can Ely fight his way into victory lane? Do we see Massey or Hackney go back into the winner's circle here this afternoon? Or do we see one of these drivers on the outside of the top 5 work their way into the show as quickly? Saw that 69 and the M6 getting a little bit of a jump there on that 09 right at Josh Ely. Ely, though, battling hard on the outside groove, and it's all going to be for naught as the caution flag does come back out. So cautions breeding cautions here at Kokomo Speedway, and unfortunately for Josh Peacock, he's going to run into some more issues here. So down low, there's some contact, and unfortunately, a couple drivers getting tied up again, and unfortunately, the man with the plan, the master man here, Josh Peacock himself, ends up going around here. Let's see if we can take another look. Let's go to the blimp views. There was a lot of beating and banging. There was a lot of battle in here between these drivers on the restart. So the 6M kind of goes down through the grass here, but we'll watch the 4 ride. So watch the 4 here of Dustin O'Neill. Even the 62 right here are going to make a little bit of contact. That just straightens out the 62 ride. He goes up and over the nose of that number 4. Up into the 88 ride of Cody Ernest. Back down into the 4 ride of Dustin O'Neill. O'Neill and the 62 tied together there. 3 wide, unfortunately, for the 62 ride, or 61 ride of Peacock. He gets in there and nowhere to go. Unfortunately, gets turned around by that 4 ride and then up into the 661 of James Frazier as well. So a couple pretty good hits there for Mr. Peacock, for Frazier, for Dustin O'Neill, and that 62 of Kyle Todd. Let's take another look at this one in full speed as he's trying to keep himself out of it, tries to get that car straightened back out. Unfortunately, could not do it in time, and the contact was already being made, and he was turned around there. So a tough break there for Mr. Peacock. They'll put him to the back of the pack as we quickly go back to green flag racing. So the green flag back out into the air as quickly as it does here once again. Another great jump and a good restart for Carl Kilgore, but the caution flag is going to come right back out again. So as much as we go back to green flag racing, we go back to yellow flag racing. This time looks like the number 3 ride, Douglas Stewart. He's going to get a shot right there on corner entry. Then he's going to slide it through, and the 62, Kyle Todd, losing it down through the slick stuff. Maybe a little contact there with the 88 ride. Let's take a look here and see if there was some contact here for Kyle Todd and the number 88 of Cody Ernest. Down into 3, just gets tight, washes up the racetrack. Nowhere to go for Cody Ernest. He gets a piece of him, and that will spin that 62 ride around, and some more contact as well for Douglas Stewart as the caution flag does come back out. So we will get him stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing as Kenny Storkson. What's good, Kenny? Kenny coming with the like on the stream says, yo, what's up, Kenny? How are you, brother? Coming in, showing the love here in this one. Oh, man, chat, this is going to be exciting. This is going to be very, very interesting. Kilgore, Massey, Hackney, Ely, and Murray, our top 5 here on the racetrack. Cody Ernest, Frazier, O'Neill, Carnegie, and Peacock, our top 10, getting ready to go back to battle, getting ready to go back to green flag racing here this afternoon. As quickly, the 6 of Kilgore, a great restart right there, able to quickly slide out in front and look to continue to hold on to this race lead. But here comes Keith Hackney, the hack attack, down low, looking for a big run. And here comes Massey and Ely on the outside lane. Kilgore has them all surrounding him here on the racetrack. He's trying to hold them off, trying to keep hitting his marks down low. Cannot make a mistake right now, as it can cost you an opportunity to win this race. As look out, Josh Ely, I do believe, going to go around right here. No, somehow keeps that car pointed the right direction. Let's quickly play this one back and take a look here as Ely making a little contact here between him and I do believe Massey right here on corner exit. Actually looks like the 69 gets in there a little straighter of an angle. Just clips that rear end and unfortunately washes up the racetrack into Cody Ernest. Pretty good contact there for the 88 ride. Pretty tough issue there for the number 3 machine as couple drivers out there on the racetrack running into each other and running into some problems here on the Speedway. But we do go back to the caution flag here late in this race as the 62 of Kyle Todd going to run into some more issues here on the racetrack. And already worked himself back inside the top 10. Is looking for a good solid top 5 run. Unfortunately gets in there a little too deep. Makes some contact there with the TNT Racing number 88 of Cody Ernest and loses that front end. Goes for a loop-de-loop and a caution flag out there onto the Speedway. So another caution flag, more beating and banging out there on the racetrack, and we will get ready to do this one all over again, but this time it will be a green-white checkered finish. So a green-white checkered here this afternoon, a little bit overtime here with the mini stocks as Kilgore going to look for another big restart, but he's got a lot of fast cats all around him in the HNL-NLR team right there in that second, third, and fourth position and looking to try to go 1, 2, and 3 here on the Speedway. So they may leave this 6 ride high and dry, and if he can't find what he's been fighting out there on the racetrack, out there on the racetrack, then he may slide back. He may end up losing this race, but I think right now he is the guy to beat here. He's trying to control this restart. Everyone on the outside lane firing a little early right there. They had to get onto the binders, and that really makes things up with that outside groove, giving the jump that Kilgore was looking for here with 2 more laps left to go. Down into corner number 3. Nice and easy out of corner number 4. We will see the caution flag fly. The caution flag flies right before the white flag. My gosh. Kilgore was that close to having this race potentially won, to potentially over. Now he's got to try to hit his marks again on another restart and try to keep these drivers flat-footed back there behind him as we will take a look at yet again another caution flag here this afternoon. And this time it looks like Blake Murray in the 83 ride. He's just getting swarmed out there on the racetrack, and unfortunately he goes upside down, and so does Peacock. Red flag on the racetrack. Some big, heavy hits, a couple barrel rolls for both of these drivers as I think it starts right off the restart here. So you're going to see Massey. He's going to fire first here. He thinks Kilgore's going super early right here. Unfortunately, as he kind of gets onto the throttle, then tries to slow up for the 6 ride. The 83 gets in there and has to get onto the binders to not make contact and spin the 6M, and then you'll see the 4 ride right there as well, and that's what really gets the 83 kind of bent out of shape as he was expecting that 4 ride to his outside. They get tight together down the back straightaway here, and unfortunately nowhere to go for Josh Peacock, as he was just the driver on the outside lane trying to follow the 4 ride through, and unfortunately finds out the tough way here in this one. At how that damage feels out here on the racetrack as we are back to green flag racing, as out in front Carl Kilgore has seen that white flag fly here. So the white flag quickly back out onto the racetrack. Let's play this one all the way back here as Kilgore going to get another quick restart here, and you quickly see him open and quickly slam onto that loud pedal. Some contact back here behind him as that's Dustin O'Neill and the 69 ride of Heath Hackney getting together. Hackney goes around as Carl Kilgore nice and easy down through 3 and out of 4. We'll see that white flag fly. So one more time here for Carl Kilgore. Down through corner 1 and 2, Massey in tow, but down into corner number 3 for the final time. Does Massey give him a shot in the shorts? Does he try to find the run he's been looking for? He can't get there. It's Carl Kilgore will pick up the checkered flag here this afternoon. Kilgore picking up the dub here this evening. Will pull the 6 ride up and in the victory lane here at Kokomo Speedways. There's our top 3 on the front straightaway, as Kilgore will pick up the win. Massey comes home in 2nd, and Dustin O'Neill will come home in that 3rd spot here, and I think there's going to be a couple upset drivers here at the 4 ride here this afternoon. A lot of beating and banging and battling. Unfortunately, him and the 69 of Hackney are going to find each other right there, as there's some contact again. The 69 and the 4 ride here. Let's take another look at it and see as they're just running each other tight down out of corner number 4 and tight down into corner number 1, and it looks like Hackney's trying to get that car set in. And it looks like the 4 ride wants to roll a little bit more of that middle lane. Unfortunately, he gets into the 69 ride. They both almost go around. Unfortunately for Hackney, he does go all the way around here, and surprised we did not see a caution flag right there for that 69 ride, as he quickly kind of did a 360 and got rolling again right there. It's the only thing that saved us from seeing another green-white checkered attempt, and Dustin O'Neill was able to keep his foot in the throttle here and keep that car rolling. Josh Ely too far back to try to pounce on that 4 machine, and he's able to hold on to that 3rd spot and pull himself up onto the podium, man. A great run, great drive, and some great action out there on the speedway here from Kokomo Speedway. But it's all Carl Kilgore, as Kilgore picks up the win and pulls the 6th ride into victory lane, as we'll get ready to pull our top 3 up and into the broadcast booth here for their post-race interviews. We'll get ready to pull Kilgore up here right now, as man, oh man, oh man, that was a crazy run, crazy race right there, as Craig Michael Deacon coming in with that like on the stream as well. Let's get Kilgore up here into the broadcast booth. Hey Carl, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Loud and clear, man.
Carl, brother, what a crazy run, what a crazy race out there, man. As we saw you early on, able to find your way to the front of the field, make some moves, and snag this race lead away from, Jamie Massey and Joshua Ely and Carl Kilgore. And from that point on, you're able to just kind of keep hitting your marks, keeping that 6th ride pinned down there on the bottom lane. And even with all those great, talented drivers back there behind you, I'm sure you could hear them or see them in the rearview mirror as Massey trying to work his way around you. We saw, Hackney and Ely and so many other great drivers right there trying to work your back bumper, but you never faltered, never made a mistake. And even with a couple late race caution flags, a couple green-white checkers here, you're able to hold them all off and put that 6th ride back up into victory lane, man. Take us back through this one and have to feel to pick up another checkered flag here this afternoon.
Oh man, it's great being we can get 3 in a row, and that one being from the rear, one of my favorite racetracks. It's kind of special. Had a lot of help from the early cautions. Some of the guys not checking up for each other and getting into each other going into one and causing a little bit of a mayhem. But nonetheless, we were able to keep our nose clean and work our way to the front. And man, I ain't gonna say it was smooth sailing once we got out front, but I felt like we had the car to win the whole time, and we had done what we needed to get it done. And I can't say I wasn't nervous, and my nerves wasn't racked, as you could tell, when Jamie and Hackney and all them guys, when they were up there, and Ely and Peacock, man, all them guys, you got to be worried a little bit when they're behind you and you're out front in a racetrack like this where it's short track racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Short track racing. It's elbows up. It's door to door, rubbing and scrubbing out there on the speedway. And we're getting a little worried there, seeing some of these late race caution flags, knowing that drivers could send it in there deep on you, try to beat you into the corner, or throw that big sliding job lane, or anything else here on those green-white checkers, where you're a little bit scared there, knowing that a big strike, a big hit could come out of left field and out of nowhere here and kind of blindside you there in these final couple laps.
Oh yeah, man. Especially in these cars, it doesn't even take a big hit. You get clipped in the left rear wrong, or somebody chop your nose going in the corner, and it'll send you for a loop, even if it's just kind of minor contact. These cars can be fidgety sometimes, and I appreciate everybody running me clean, and us putting on a show for everybody to watch the broadcast, and for you to scream your lungs out while we're out there racing.
Absolutely, brother. Always screaming my lungs out here, man. Always exciting racing action when we get, you guys out there on the speedway, man. Such a great group of drivers. So many classy drivers and so many talented drivers, man. I've seen you guys duke it out, time and time again and put on some crazy, crazy races for us. And this was another one. And you're able to get the upper hand on Massey and Ely and Hackney here again this afternoon, as you're able to find victory lane and keep them back there behind him. Carl, who would you like to thank for great run and great performance out there on the racetrack?
Oh, as always, Magility Speed Shop, the fastest dirt sets in my opinion, the most comfortable to drive around. You maneuver up and down the racetrack wherever you need to go. VLR, WR1 Sim Chassis, Sweet Victory Apparel, 09 Laser Engraving, Elite Glass. Man, all the guys that helped me tune these setups up. I know it ain't many of us, but we do a hell of a job. I try to do my best for everybody. I know that everybody drives different, and that's kind of what I preach to my drivers. I'll build the base setup, and you let me know what you need to get around the racetrack, and we'll make it happen. Uh, Man, I got to thank you for broadcasting as always. You do a hell of a job, and Peacock putting this thing on, and trying to see if we can't battle back in this little points deal. I guess we got 2 more races, and I know it's going to take a lot, but we may be close now.
Yeah, absolutely. After picking up quite a few checkered flags, I know you said you wanted to go trophy hunting. You didn't think you'd be in contention here for the championship, but I'm not sure if there was, 1 or 2 drop weeks or whatever there may be. But with so many wins, so many good performances out of that number 6 machine, you might be working yourself in towards the top 5, top 3 here, and may have an open door here if Massey, Hackney run into some more issues out there on the speedway. So it's going to be interesting to watch and see how the final 2 races play out and see who will end up being the champion here this year for the Bulletproof Mini Stock Association in their inaugural season here in Kilgore. It's awesome watching you out there on the racetrack and picking up another win here in this inaugural season. We can't wait to see you back in action next Wednesday.
Yes, sir. Strategy stays the same. We're going to keep hunting the trophies, and maybe the points will fall our way.
Absolutely, brother. Don't work on anything that's not that's working. You gotta keep doing what you're doing, keep stacking those pennies, and not worrying too much about the points. And all of a sudden you may be right there in the thick of it here, and it should be exciting right down to the very, very end.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
You do. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Carl Kilgore. As Kilgore coming home in the winner's circle, he comes home in the top spot and picks up the checkered flag here this afternoon as we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher here in this one, the 6M of Jamie Massey. Massey coming home there in position number 2. We'll get ready to pull him up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Jamie, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
I got you, brother.
Jamie, man, another solid run, another solid performance here out of you. Obviously, having that invert hurt you here tonight. You kind of get shuffled back to start there in the 5th position on the racetrack quickly. You try to work your way to the front of the field. You're trying to, battle for this race lead and a couple restarts, and all of a sudden, you find that infield tractor tire down there on the bottom side of 1 and 2, and you didn't just hit it, man. You absolutely clobbered it as you made contact with it. Unfortunately, Hackney right there trying to follow you towards the front of the field. He gets into you as well. We see the 6M ride up off all 4 tires. Luckily enough, stays, not upside down. It stays kind of just airborne enough where you don't go end over end or anything else or create a ton of chaos or damage there for yourself, but still a very, very heavy hit. It sends you to the back of the pack. Same with Hackney. Now you guys got to try to go back through that hornet's nest. You try to battle your way back up. It takes a little bit as you guys were trying to work yourself through all the carnage and mayhem that was going on throughout the field, and obviously you were able to get up through it a little bit quicker than Hackney here tonight. You're able to jump back up into that second spot, trying to figure out a way to get around Kilgore here late in the race. Unfortunately, you couldn't quite find what you were looking for up there on that outside groove, and late in this one with those short runs, you can never really get the ball rolling to try to go after him and really find something there, and after a few laps of racing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if we'd ever got out front, I think I had the car to beat. I mean, we won't know because I stepped on it and hit the fucking tire, and we was in a good spot, and then I drove to third 3 different times and got wrecked all 3 times. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I had a really good car, and then once you restart on the outside was terrible. There was nothing. You really couldn't do nothing. I had the wrong gear to run the top anyway, and I couldn't run the top, and I could get a run on him, but I could have moved him there at the end, and he worked his ass off to get up front too. So I wasn't about to run over him like everybody was me. So I was just trying to, man. Even on the 2 times I checked up for him one time on the bottom and got clobbered on a restart. I mean, fucking killed. Back to the rear again. Then I come through and they won Rex in the infield. He comes out of the infield wide open motocross, jumps over my hood, tears my shit all to hell. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand. If you're wrecking an infield, just spin out. I mean, you don't got to turn that so much hard right and come back in front of the whole field and kill everybody. But all in all, a good points night. Uh, Kokomo is probably one of my favorite tracks, one of my best tracks to run. And like I said, and I told a couple guys earlier, there's only a handful of guys that can really run that track like it needs to be in a street stock or a mini stock. And I mean, you seen who they were. I mean, Carl got it done. Um, Josh Ely looked really good. Hackney's always good there. I mean, the good cars really showed, and then the ones that wanted to run over motherfuckers really showed too. So it is what it is. Still a good points night, man. Like I said, I thought a couple times there we were done, and I was just so good on the bottom. I know it don't show that because I couldn't get in open traffic, but my car was so good on the bottom, and I could just slow roll the bottom really good and just pass 4 cars at a time, and then I would get wrecked. So I would have liked to really showcase what we had. If I could have got out front, I think it would have been a tough sled for anybody to get by us. But we didn't get to do that, and Carl beat us to it. And that's what I told everybody. If I don't get to the front and I get wrecked, and Carl gets to the front, it'll be tough to get back by him. And that's exactly what happened. So I lived that one right up, like I said would happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Once either yourself or Hackney, Kilgore, once you guys kind of get out in front, it's so hard to get back around you guys, man. You guys are so talented, so skilled, and when it's really one fast lane around the racetrack, you can run some other lanes. You may be able to stay pace with them, but really not find what you need to pull up door to door or make a pass around them. So when it's one lane, unless if you move the guy, you really just got to kind of follow in line and wait until they make a mistake. And when there's talent like you, Kilgore, Hackney, even Ely, for a lot of times, man, it's very rarely that we see you guys make a mistake of just missing your marks out there on the racetrack. It's not very often that we see, yourself included, hit an infield tractor tire or run into one of those issues out there on the racetrack, but it becomes very, very tough, and that's what we saw there at the end. And it would have been great to see a little bit longer of a green flag run there, especially towards the end of this race, seeing you and Kilgore and Hackney, Ely kind of all up there and really duke it out on a longer run and see who could get around who, or who could try to find an opening to maybe try to get around Kilgore and battle for that race win.
Yeah, man. Speaking of the tractor tire, I've been without my VR for 2 weeks, and I'm trying to adjust to racing without my VR on single monitor because my VR took crap on me, and then the cord quit working, so I had to order a new cord, and it hasn't got here yet. It's supposed to be here today, so I was hoping for that, and it just didn't happen. So we raced on the monitor again this week, and I just couldn't. Man, I figured the tire out late in the race, like when you was because if you it's different from when you run the qualifying lap where the tire is or the way you enter the corner. But when you're slow rolling the bottom and I can't see the tire like I normally feel like I can see the tire, I just misjudged it. And like I said, we're all human, man, and we make mistakes. The biggest key at this racetrack is when there's a line of cars on the bottom and a guy lets up in front of you. You've got to let up and follow him through the corner and wait for him to slip up off and then drive under him, and then you can rub doors with him. But if you just hit him in the ass, you're all wrecking him. That was subject of probably, I don't know how many cautions we had, but however many cautions we had, except for me hitting the tractor tire, that was what happened. Somebody just didn't let up for the guy trying to get to the bottom and wanted to, and it's just I really wanted to restart third there. I got this the one time I was third. I don't know how I got scored fifth, but I got scored fifth on a restart. Somehow it was like a quick restart, and I was right on the bottom, and I was all over Carl, and I got scored fifth in the deal, and we had to restart again. So I had to restart fifth, and I made it right back to second. I mean, like I said, I had such a good car on the bottom. Just when the time came to restart, I was either restarting fifth or I was restarting second. So it just didn't play, man. It was Carl's not to win, and we'll try again next week. And he's been really good. I mean, like I say, man, I think me and him's two are the best in the business building setups for street stocks and mini stocks, and it shows. And I don't mind losing to him any week. And we worked a little harder this week, and it showed, man. I feel like it showed that we showed up and worked because I mean we were the fastest things on the racetrack all night long, qualifying, heat races. We were really good. And then come feature time, I made a mistake and cost us all. So I'll take that and go on into next week. And I feel really good about Lucas. Lucas is more of a track where you set up really plays into it, and I think we'll be really good there. We're gonna test and we'll get right back at it.
Absolutely, brother. It's going to be a lot of fun watching you guys back out there on the racetrack next week. But, Jamie, who would you like to thank here tonight for such a great run and great performance here at Kokomo?
First and foremost, man, I just want to thank everybody over at H&L. Uh, I want to thank Blake and um, Douglas, man. Like I said, we worked hard that last 2 hours before this race to get in, and we ain't tested all week, but we've been running asphalt. So like I run asphalt all week, and then I come run dirt. So just on Wednesdays, and we tested really hard today from about 4 o'clock till time to go race, and if it wouldn't have been for them guys, we wouldn't have even been in the spot to be good. So I want to appreciate them for that. And like I said, we'll do the same thing next week. Congratulations to Carl. Good run to Dustin too, man. Even though he did kill me one time, but good run to him. He's improving. He ain't been on the sim maybe a couple months, and he's improving. And it's good to see the newer guys come on up. Thanks for you for broadcasting. And Josh Peacock sucks. See you. Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of your night, Jamie.
See you, man.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Jamie Massey as Massey picks up the win here in this one. Massey coming home there in position number 2. Actually, Jamie coming home there in second. Kilgore with the win. Massey coming home in second, and coming home in third was Dustin O'Neill, as we'll get ready to pull O'Neill up here into the broadcast booth. O'Neill was also tied as our hard charger. Him and Tyler Carnegie both up 8 spots here in this feature event. Now, you would count Kilgore up 14 positions as he got the EOL, had to start at the rear of the field here for this feature event, and he was able to work himself up into the winner's circle, but as an actual starting spot, they are both up +8. So huge shout outs there to Dustin O'Neill and Tyler Carnegie, both having some pretty solid runs out there and driving up towards the front of the field. As we'll get ready to pull in the 4 line, Dustin O'Neill coming home there in position number 3. We'll pull him up into the broadcast booth. Hey Dustin, it's Aaron up here on the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Dustin, man, a bit of a crazy one, a bit of a wild one, but you're able to work yourself through it. You were able to keep that car pointed in the right direction. You find your way up here onto the podium, man, for the, I do believe, the first time here this season. How does it feel, Dustin, as you're able to hop back into the simulator and, you know, slowly but surely getting the knack back for it, and you are working yourself back up onto a podium?
Yes, sir. I mean, I feel like a fat girl at prom, man. It feels good to be finished second to Massey, and these guys are really good. And I don't have, I mean, Jamie's helped me with a couple of things, but I don't have the setups that everybody else does. We kind of tweak on it myself, you know, just learning as I go. It's hard, man. These guys are really good, and they spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah, they definitely spend a lot of time working on these setups, going over every little thing, every little detail to make sure that they're absolutely perfect. And sometimes, you know, they can hit it right on the mark and they're pretty much unbeatable on the speedway. But sometimes they are beatable and you're right there with them, right down to the very end. Maybe another caution flank or two to open up the door for you to maybe get the jump that you're looking for, or anything else to try to find yourself a way around Massey and Kilgore here late in this race. But Dustin, a strong run, a strong performance, but you know, there was a lot of beating and banging, a lot of battling out there, man. Take us through this one as we saw you work yourself through the field, and obviously, you know, cars kind of all over the place, bouncing off each other. You know, one driver gets hit, they wash way up the racetrack, or they shoot down the racetrack over, you know, your nose or somebody else's nose, and all of a sudden you got 2 or 3 cars parked right in front of you, nowhere to go, man. Take us through all the craziness here as you're able to, you know, share the Hard Charger Award here this afternoon with Tyler Carnegie.
Yeah, man. Them guys, they sometimes they check up, and you're hard in the gas, and like I got Jamie one time, I got Frazier another time. I mean, it's hard to when they check up, there ain't much time to, you know, react to it until it's too late, and it just takes a little touch and it spins the guy in front of you. Um, and I apologize if they're all upset, but I'm sorry. Um, it was fun. It was great. I mean, beating and banging, and I didn't get the poop into the stick tonight, I guess you could say. It was fun, man.
Absolutely, and that's the key word, brother. Having some fun out there on the simulator, having a good time, man, and all's fair in love and war. And here tonight, you went to war, you went to battle, and you came out with a solid top 3 performance here. Dustin, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong drive here this afternoon?
Man, I'd like to thank you. My dad loves to watch this stuff, and he can sit at home and watch it, and that's why I tag him in it every time we go live. Um, and my little boy, my wife, I mean, they let me sit here and do it, and me, I mean, Logan Matthews, he helps me out a little bit. Jamie Massey, he gives me pointers, and that's about it, man. I just, it's better than World of Outlaws on PlayStation. I'd rather do this. It's the closest thing you're gonna get to driving a real race car.
100%, brother. It's definitely the closest thing, the best thing you can do, especially if you're a real-life racer, man, to get that extra practice throughout the winter time, or, you know, you're going to a new racetrack and iRacing has it on the service, man. You gotta get onto the sim, you gotta run some laps and really learn and dip your toes into some of the other things and really experience, you know, what the dirt stuff, the asphalt stuff really has to offer. And, you know, as much as some drivers, they think it's still a video game, the simulator, man, it's so close, it's so easy to kind of learn what you need to and figure some things out. And we see numerous drivers in real life that you know, keep on improving real life racing performances because of the simulator week after week after week. And it's awesome to see how these guys in real life are using the simulator to practice and continue to get better, and hopefully you can just continue to grow the sport more and more and more, and continue to see drivers that are sim racers, you know, dipping their toes into the real life stuff as well.
Absolutely, man. It's a whole lot cheaper than a real race car, I'll say that too.
It definitely is. At least here you can have the reset button or a quick fix down on pit road. In real life, you ain't got those. It's thousands and thousands of dollars when you do something stupid out there. But that's why I feel iRacing just has such a strong racer's etiquette and everything else, right? Just to try to keep people, you know, with that in the back of their mind, where, you know, you act like an idiot out there on the racetrack, you know, in officials and stuff like that, you can get suspended from the service. Where, you know, I kind of like that aspect. You know, if you're pulling head moves, you know, at a real life racetrack, you pull those moves, you're gonna get kicked out, you're gonna get suspended. So why don't you have that same sort of punishment here on a simulator? So I do like that as well. But Dustin, a great run, a solid performance from you here this evening, brother. Congratulations on the top 3 run, and hopefully more and more to come, and hopefully another couple trips here to finish off the season for you up here into the broadcast booth.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your night.
You too, brother.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Dustin O'Neal, as O'Neal coming home there in position number 3. A very strong run, a very strong race here this afternoon for the number 4 ride of Dustin O'Neal. As, man, what a run, what a drive right there. As Damian Sharp, my boy Damian, coming in with that like on the stream. Josh Peacock coming in with that like as well. Randy Howard also coming in with that like during our interviews there. I appreciate you guys coming in, showing the love here this afternoon, dropping those reactions, showing the love here in this one. And yo, John Q coming in, dropping that follow over on Twitch as well. I appreciate that coming in, becoming a member of the Peacemaker family. Unfortunately, though, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here in this one. We're going to be back live, though, in about 45 minutes from now, as the Slingshot Sim Racing Series comes to a close here tonight. Their Championship 4 get ready to battle at Phoenix Raceway for our final race of that series. Man, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Hopefully we have a good crowd. Hopefully we have, you know, a good turnout of drivers, as well as last week we had 6 cars. So bear with us. Come join us. Be part of the chat. Keep me, you know, focused, keep me alive, keep me going there in the comment section, as we may need all the help we can get later on tonight in the SSR League. But hopefully we see all the drivers show up for one last race and see a great turnout and a great race there at Phoenix Raceway. But we won't know until we load in and see what we're looking at. But we will see you guys back in here, about 45 minutes from now. 45 minutes from now, we'll be back to Green Flag Racing. So thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all back here in just a little bit. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.
Engines 4 nights alive, ain't no sleeping. Tires spinning, dirt flies, hearts are racing. Southern pride, grit and sweat, keep on chasing. Track lights blur, dirt clouds, moons just a creeping. Rusting metal horsepower, pushing harder. Small town dreams, broke dreams don't falter. Oil and gas light the way, ain't no charter. Crowds holler, wild boys, laps get shorter. Speed 'em up, steering tight. Beneath the stars, we own the night. Chasing glory, trophy lights. Adrenaline's gas, fuel the fight. Fuel the fight. Broken bones, mended hearts racing faster. Mud-soaked heroes dash through disaster. Songs of engines drown out the laughter. Dreams on wheels push past the pasture. Track and dust, life on edge, unafraid. Legends born from risks they made. Every turn, every burn, fortune's laid. South's heartbeat in a dirt track to play. Speed 'em up, loose, steering tight. Beneath the stars, we own the night. Chasing glory, trophy lights. Adrenaline's gas, fuel the fight. Speeding mud loose, steering tight. Beneath the stars, we own the night. Chasing glory, trophy lights. Adrenaline's gas, fuel the fight. Fuel the fight. Fuel the fight. Fuel the fight. Engines 4 nights alive, ain't no sleeping. Tires spinning, dirt flies, hearts are racing. Southern pride, grit and sweat, keep on chasing. Track lights blur, dirt clouds, moons just a creeping. Rusting metal horsepower, pushing harder. Small town dreams, broke dreams don't falter. Oil and gas light the way, ain't no charter. Crowds holler, wild boys, laps get shorter. Speed 'em up, steering tight. Beneath the stars, we own the night. Chasing glory, trophy lights. Adrenaline's gas, fuel the fight. Fuel the fight. Broken bones, mended hearts racing faster. Mud-soaked heroes dash through disaster. Songs of engines drown out the laughter. Dreams on wheels push past the pasture. Track and dust, life on edge, unafraid. Legends born from risks they made. Every turn, every burn, fortune's laid. South's heartbeat in a dirt track to play. Speed 'em up, loose, steering tight. Beneath the stars, we own the night. Chasing glory, trophy lights. Adrenaline's gas, fuel the fight. Underneath the stars we own the night, chasing glory, trophy lights. Adrenaline's gas, fuel the fight. Fuel